Hi, good morning. My name is Brian Norris, and I am the co-owner and managing partner of Bateman Funeral Home down here in Newport, Oregon. And I am here talking about straight and honest advice from our family to yours. Today's message, we're going to talk a little bit about beach and ocean memorials. You know, in the movies, we see all these beautiful burials at sea where you see a boat going out into the distance and a man pulling back a flaming arrow and he shoots it and it strikes the boat and the boat burns. We can't do that here in Oregon, no matter how much we want. I'm sorry. In fact, we actually had somebody trying to do that up in Lincoln City out on the lake. They wanted to be able to set their little boat out there and set it on fire, and the chief of the fire department said, no, you can't do that. So anyway, but what can you do on the beach? What can it be that you can do on the beach that makes it that romantic type of a funeral? Well, you can be on the beach and you can have a bonfire, not a burning casket. You can have a bonfire. You can actually go out and you can, my suggestion would be, if you're going to have candles and you're going to be on the beach, if it's not a really still, cold, quiet, calm day, if you're out there with candles, I'm sorry, but the candle is going to get blown out in the wind. You might try to use the electric ones. They sell these little electric flickering ones, little battery type ones, or during Christmas at all the churches, you see little candles that have the batteries in them and then little flickers. You might want to try doing something like that. But real candles down on the beach, I'm sorry, is really honestly not very realistic. Romantic, not very realistic. Flowers, petals, that type of thing. If you're going to have flowers down on the beach, and we've ran into this a few times, if you're going to have flowers down on the beach and they're going to be the kind of easels, make sure you stick them deep into the sand so they don't get blown over. Same thing with flower petals. It's beautiful. You can place them on the beach, but they do get blown away, and you just need to be prepared for that. Reading of poems, reading of family histories, that type of thing, absolutely extremely appropriate, and I would highly recommend having that type of a thing on the beach. Now, if you're done with your service and you're thinking you're going to just scatter the ashes on the beach, it happens all the time. I haven't seen anybody get in trouble for it, but just know that it's the EPA does not allow to have the ashes scattered on the beach. They can be scattered 3 miles out to sea. Or if you're down here in Newport and you're in the Uquinta Bay area, you can certainly scatter them in the bay and then they'll head out to sea. But because that's the inland area. But once you hit the ocean, it's regulated by the EPA, and they say 3 miles out to sea of scattering of ashes, as well as placing objects in the sea. Make sure that if you are going to be going out to sea and having them out at sea, that they don't float. You know, you don't want to have a plastic container out there floating on top of the ocean. You want it to go underneath. So biodegradable plastic baggies that are biodegradable, they're not really plastic. They're made out of a biodegradable substance. They look just like plastic bags, but they dissolve on contact with water. Those types of things are what you'd want to use. Again, I know if your Viking ancestry tells you want to have a burning boat at sea, can't do that. I'm sorry. If you have any other questions, if you have some comments, please make sure you comment in our comment line. Please make sure you share this, and have yourself a nice afternoon. Thank you for listening to Straight Talk.